Alright, Michael, and this is Wild Week 2010, and
Woo!
woo! Yeah, and well, what I've learned so far is when I got here, I've been praying a lot, as you guys know, about the military and stuff like that, and if it's the right thing for me, and I've never really known, I've always thought about it, thought about going since my sophomore year, and then kind of threw it out of the way until my senior year, and that's when a recruiter came and talked to me, got to know more about it, thought about it some more and more, and totally forgot about it again. Started praying about it a long time ago, though. I've been praying about it for a couple of years, and past 2 weeks, I decided that I am going to go to the Air Force, and um, it was really hard deciding that because the Air Force is like, as you know, there's war and stuff like that, and it's not. You have a lot of stuff that goes on. People get brainwashed. People suffer from that stuff, and it's not easy. But I know I can do it, and and right now I'm trying to decide between ROTC or just enlisting. And earlier, sprained my ankle first day here. It was awesome. And I talked to one of the leaders here, and he said that one of his friends is in the military, and if you don't cuss with them, drink with them, smoke, do everything they're doing, they're not going to think you have their back in battle and stuff like that. And he said, but his friend was an exception because he went into the military with a strong religious background, and they like could tell there was something different about him, something that nobody else had, and they'd go to him with their problems, and they'd ask him for help and prayer and stuff. And earlier we were talking. I've been saved before. I was baptized when I was 14 at Family Life Fellowship in Amarillo, and it was real. It was a real baptism. But the preacher, I think his name was Ken, something like that. He was talking about if you are 100% sure, 100 without a doubt, that you're gonna go to heaven when you die. And if he would have said if you think, then things would have been different. But he said the way he worded, he said if you know for a fact you're going to heaven. I didn't know for a fact. I was like 95% sure I was gonna go, and that 5% chance I didn't want to take a risk. So he asked us to stand up and raise our hand if we weren't 100%, and I did. And it was strange because it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I mean, I've gone to D now and other camps and stuff like that, and at every camp they do that. They're like, you want to stand up, be saved, and stuff like that. And the weirdest thing is, this is the biggest church camp I've ever been to, and I was too not embarrassed. I was just like, I didn't want to stand up. I don't like attention too much like that, and it's weird because I just never stood up at any of those things or even raised my hand while everybody's eyes were closed. But for some reason, with when he said raise your hand, my hand went up without me even thinking about it. It just went up by itself. It was like God was pulling my hand up. And then got a little harder after that. They said stand up, and so I stood up, still eyes closed and everything, not knowing who's around me, thinking, and then keeps talking. I'm thinking, hey, maybe he'll tell us to sit down. Nobody will have to look up. And then he says, everybody look up, look around you. That was pretty cool because I knew my friends were there and they were there for me, and that was nice. But it was really hard because it's 800 kids alone, at least. And so there's that many eyes looking at you. Luckily, I wasn't the only one standing. There was a lot that came.
How many of your friends were standing with you?
Kelby, Jason, and Josh. And it was awesome to see those guys standing too, knowing I wasn't alone in my church, and that God was working with them also, not only with me. And just this weekend, it's not even over yet. Got a full day and quarter, I guess, and I can feel a change already. And like just like I said, the military, it's not an easy decision, and I feel like it's this camp has helped me a ton with that decision. I wasn't even supposed to come here. I didn't even want to come at first because Austin Sinclair, he's a Marine and he's going to Afghanistan on the first. And he was going to come here and talk to me, or to Panhandle and talk to me, but he was misbehaving, so he couldn't come. So I came, and I think there was a reason for that. And right now, I think I'm just going to go enlist straight up and try to be that soldier that the Ken's friend was, and just try to help lead the other people towards God. And it's going to be really tough, but I'm ready to do it. I love Jesus. Woo!